Hey everyone, welcome back to the Brick Empire. My name's Brant, and today we're looking at LEGO Set 76125 Iron Man Hall of Armor. So here it is on display right here. You guys can see all 6 of the minifigures that it comes with. Well, it's really 3 minifigures and 3 additional suits, and I'll talk about those in just a second. So glancing at the finished product, you can see all the different spaces you can display his armor. It's a pretty nice recreation of Iron Man's Hall of Armor in a small scale. I really love the look of the finished product of this model, and let's get into some of the details on here. On the back wall where you have the Iron Man suits laid out, there's 4 open slots for suits. And coincidentally, this set comes with 4 different Iron Man suit variations, so you can put all of them on there to store them. It also comes with Tony Stark's platform where he builds and maintains all of his suits. It comes with some robotic arms attached to it as well, and those are fully posable and adjustable. You have his central computer interface off to the side, and the chair is able to spin around on there, along with a coffee mug of his. It comes with his clumsy droid dummy, Dum-E, and he's putting out a fire right here with his fire extinguisher. So you can see the 3 different suit variations along the back wall. We'll get into detail on all those real quick when we get into the minifigures. Then you get 2 villains, the 2 Outriders up there on the top. Up there on the top right, you'll see Igor, Iron Man's first attempt at a mech suit. We're going to look at all this up close and in detail right after our intro. Cue the music. Alright, first things first, let's jump into the great minifigures that are included in this set. You get 4 different variations of the Iron Man suits, which is something I was really looking forward to. Starting with the first one, Iron Man Mark 1 on the left there. Then you get Iron Man Mark 5, Iron Man Mark 41, and then Iron Man Mark 50. Now that's the only one that's been in previous sets. That's also the suit that he wore in the Infinity War LEGO set from last year. So again, this is the first time we've had Mark 1, 5, or 41. It's really nice to add those suits to the Iron Man collection. Now, as usual on most of the Iron Man figures, they have that metallic printing to them, so they do shine a little. Let me rotate it back and forth, you guys can see that. On the Mark 1 suit, the helmet is all one piece. On the other 3 suits, the visor is adjustable and lifts up. So let's go through them one by one. Let's start with the Mark 1 suit. I love the detail and the printing they provided in this suit. I like that it resembles what a suit looked like in Iron Man. And it's got some really nice details when you dig in, and I'll zoom in on here. It's got some battle damage, some scuffs, some marks on there. A lot of cool features on here. Now, one thing I wish is if there was a way for them to make it a little bulkier, because that first suit was pretty huge. It was a pretty large suit, so I would have liked to see them make it a little bit bigger. Maybe something along the lines of the Batman vs. Superman Batman suit, that armor suit. Provide a little more depth or size to it. But that said, I'm really excited to have this as part of our LEGO collection. Up next is Mark 5. This one's known as the suitcase, because in Iron Man 2 he had it in a suitcase when he was traveling around. Now the print's great on here. It's got that silver and red contrast colors. Really nice printing, really good coloring. One thing that may be hard to see, I'll try to zoom in on it though, is this is the first Iron Man figure I've had that had a little nick up there in the his upper left. It'll be upper right on the video here for you guys to see. Which is surprising because they come in their own small bags within the bag. So they're usually in pretty nice shape. Again, this is a welcome addition to the collection. Next up is Iron Man Mark 41. It's the black and gold suit. Again, really, really nice printing. I love the contrast of the gold and the black and how that one will really shine when you rotate it back and forth. And I didn't mention this on 5, but on 5 and 41, they have the nice additional prints on the face mask itself. Provides a little more shape and depth and looks really nice. And then finally is Iron Man Mark 50. Now this one was also featured in last year's Infinity War sets too, so it's not a new suit. But again, really, really, really nice printing. I love the coloring, the scheme, the black, red, and gold. Because there's 4 Iron Man suits included in this set, you're only going to get 1 Tony Stark face. The other 3 suits have a clear minifigure head inside of them. I'm going to show you right now. I'll flip up the visors on the 3 and I'll kind of tip up the helmet on Mark 1. So you can see all the clear heads in there, and then you see the Tony Stark face on Mark 50. Let me pull off the Mark 1 helmet and I'll show you guys how it's just a one-piece suit. It's got some really nice detailing on it again, as we talked about earlier. Now the Tony Stark head is reversible. It has the HUD look on the backside of it. His heads up display when he's inside of the suit. And in the HUD look, he's got that angry expression. But here also I'll spin him around so you can see the nice printing continues on the back for all 4 of the suits. I particularly like the details on the back of the Mark 1, showcasing some of the rudimentary elements that he used to build that first suit and get it out and functional. Now the Tony Stark figure does come with his hairpiece. I'll show you guys right here. It was on display inside the Hall of Armor when I first showed the completed model at the beginning of the review. We'll throw it on right here. He comes with the typical spiky black hair look for him. And overall, I'm really happy with the selection of these 4 Iron Man suits. Now let me spin it around a few more times to get a good look at it before we switch over to the two Outriders. Okay, here are the two Outriders included in the set. Much like Iron Man, these have some nice printings on them. They're reminiscent of the Ironman Mark 41 with the black and gold printing for both their torso and their face printings. They have some great detail and design to show off the muscles of the Outriders, and the face printing is top notch as well. As you see the figures, they also come with the attachments to put on the additional 4 limbs for each of them. As I spin it around, I'll take one of them off so you guys can see the back printing on it as well, because both these figures are identical to each other. So there you have it. As we spin it around, they have a really, really nice back printing, and they also, the back of their head is printed too, which is cool. And on the right, you can see how that attachment sits onto the Outrider, and then you can attach those 4 limbs right there. So the two Outriders have nice prints, and they're nice looking figures overall. Now let's jump back to the set and take a more detailed look at the entire thing. As we transition back to the completed model, let me talk about the build real quick. The build was maybe one of the things I liked least about this set. You can see along the back wall, 8 of those sections are modular attachments, so they're separately built. They come with clips, you just connect them together. But as you can imagine, with 8 of them being very similar and 4 of those 8 being identical, it's pretty repetitious to build all that. So it wasn't the most fun build overall. Let's take a closer look at the computer center. So as I pick it up, you can see the chair is rotatable, you have the coffee mug on there, and you have the 4 computer screens there. They are a little bit hard to see on the video here. They have a clear sticker applied to the translucent light blue color, and it's hard to see on the screen, but it does show up pretty well in person. This set does have quite a few stickers included in it, as you looked at the computer screen right there. Those stickers are the clear sticker type, so they're a little bit harder to apply. You want to make sure you take your time with those and put them on accurately. What I've noticed with some of the clear stickers over the years is if you have to take them off or anything, they'll leave some residue behind and they won't look as good on the completed product. So please take your time when applying those 7 stickers. You have the 4 on the computer console there. There's 3 on the backside of the modulars that showcase some of the Iron Man suit builds. And the remaining 4 stickers will be on Mark 38, the Igor Suit. Now I'm going to grab Iron Man Mark 38. It was a little bit too large to put in the minifigure section, so let me bring it up close so we can take a look at all the different features on it. So with Igor, he's entirely brick built. So with that comes some limitations to him, but he does have some pretty good mobility on the legs and the knee joint there. As I rotate him on the back of his feet, you can see they use the 2x3 inverted slope pieces to provide some stability on the back of the foot to get that nice balance point so he doesn't tip over. Igor does have 4 of the remaining stickers. So as I turn Igor sideways, you can see a couple of the stickers right here. There's one right out there on the wrist. Now the face right here is actually the only printed tile included in the whole set. You see the sticker on the other wrist, and then both of his thighs have stickers on them as well. As I pick up the head area, you can see how I can fit the minifigure inside the suit to control Igor. There's some pretty good mobility of the shoulder joints, the elbows, and even the hands and figures are also posable. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the Igor suit, especially with the limitations of it all being brick built. Let's transition right now to take a look at the accessories along the back wall. There are 5 different accessories sections. Starting on the left, you get a blender and a coffee mug. Next to that, you have a stud shooter with an energy blade. In the center, you have a jetpack. The next one over, you have the wrench. And lastly, you have a stand for Tony Stark's hairpiece when he's in his Iron Man suit. Now for the review, I have the set set up in a straight line fashion to give you guys the best view of all the different features in the set. But the set can be set up in a bunch of different ways. Let me show you guys some of the different ways you can set it up. The first thing on the back of the box, they'll show you that you can also set it up in a horseshoe shape. So what I'm going to do is pull one of the walls in so you guys can see what that might look like. Right there's half the horseshoe pulled in. You can do the same on the other side if you guys want to make it a full horseshoe. With the way each of the sections attach, there's quite a bit of flexibility as to which way they'll bend either in or out, so you guys can go the other way as well. You know, how you choose to display this will be totally dependent on how much room you guys have to put it out on display in your house. The other cool way that it shows on the box is you guys can actually stack them on top of each other. What I'm going to do is pull off one of the modular sections here on the end and put it on top. Now you can put it on top and line it up a little bit further back so you can keep the fence in place. Or if you wanted to flush mount it, you could remove that fence piece like I'm doing right here, and you guys can just line it up directly over the top of the other one. And again, because these are modular, you could actually take all of them and put them on one side or the other. You can rearrange them, you can mix and match them. It's limitless with what you guys can do with what's included in this set. Now with all the different ways to display this, there's a few easy modifications you can do if you want to bring in some additional Iron Man suits that you already have in your collection. The first and easiest one is to remove those accessory builds you see on the back wall there. Put them elsewhere throughout the Hall of Armor display. You can just attach them and have them freestand throughout the Hall of Armor. With just that modification, you can put 5 additional suits along the back wall there. In addition to that, if you don't mind it not having the wall behind it, you guys can, where the Outriders are sitting on top there, there's 2 studs on each of those sections. You can put 9 other additional Iron Man suits up there. You can display a whole bunch or almost your entire collection of Iron Man sets just in this one set right here. Now, some of you may want to do even more. A couple easy additional purchase type items you can get is you could buy a second one of these sets. You could either stack them on top of each other or just add them onto the sides of it. That's an easy way to add a bunch more slots for more suits. You can buy some individual pieces either from LEGO or from other third-party sites to be able to add some more of these modular sections on there. That'll be another easy way to do it. But really, this provides a great base for a nice display if you have just a few suits, especially if you want to expand this and showcase your entire Iron Man collection off. You can add on to this and really make a standout display. One other thing I want to mention before I get into my final thoughts is this set does have some playability to it. Because of the inclusion of the Outriders, you can have some battles in there. Your kids will probably love it. You can switch Tony Stark between the 3 different suits or throw him inside the Igor suit. You can have some pretty good battles within the Hall of Armor within Tony's Malibu mansion there. It's not just a total display set. It does have some of that playability factor as well. So there were a few things I didn't like in this set. The build was a little bit repetitive. I'm unsure about the Outriders. I have a few of them in my collection and I'm not sure that I needed them. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I would have liked a little bit of a bulkier version of the Ironman Mark 1 suit. But with that said, I am satisfied with everything that came in it. I do love the 4 Iron Man suits, even the Mark 1, even though it's not as bulky. It's got a nice print to it, it's got a nice design, and I'm glad to have it as part of my collection to be able to add that in there. It's cool that we got 3 new suits, plus the Igor suit as well. This set does a lot to expand our Iron Man collection. This set was released with all the Endgame sets for the new movie, but this set is really more of a culmination of all of Iron Man's appearances throughout the MCU, which is something I'm totally okay with. All these suits were featured throughout different movies, so it's providing a nice assortment of figures in here. I am really happy to have this as part of my collection. If it's something that interests you, I would recommend you guys go out there and grab it. I'll have some links down below if you want to purchase through any of our affiliate links. We may get a small commission off of it. It doesn't cost you guys anything additional. That's a way to support our channel as we're just getting started on YouTube here. We'd really appreciate that if you did that. Please let me know your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to connect with you guys down there in the comments or on any of our social medias down here in the bottom right corner. You can also visit our website at www.thebrickempire.com. I'd love to keep talking with you guys if you click one of our 2 videos on the screen here. Thanks for helping us build our empire one brick at a time. I'll talk to you on that next video.